Hey, you guys, I wanted to give you a quick update and apologize for my absence the last 2 weeks. Something happened that plunged me into a mega PTSD trigger. I don't think that I've actually ever experienced that before. It made me realize that have significant traumas from my spiritual warfare journey and just like how much of a mind fuck it was at times that I need to do more work on healing. Like, I was aware of it, but to be honest, like, I focus so much time on other people and clients and my daughter and just not myself that it made me stop and focus on myself. And that's going to be, a continual progress because, like, I talked to Spirit the other day. I finally, it was an emotional roller coaster ride for 2 weeks. Like, every time I would think that I was starting to get better, I would get worse again. And it just brought up a lot. It brought up a lot of what I knew was there, because even though it was spiritual warfare and it's not like I was physically at war, like, I was at war, to be honest. Like, you guys don't know every nitty gritty detail of it all, but I was. And it was very traumatic for both me and my twin. He doesn't even know the spiritual stuff. He only knows what he went through in the 3D reality with the karmic. And he witnessed some things and went through some stuff too that was traumatizing. So when I felt a shift with the 1010 portal, and I talked to Spirit about just what was going on, because I had also, within a few days of that, had gotten to a point of like feeling like, what is wrong with me? Like, why can't I feel better? Am I doing something wrong? What do I need to do? And so I actually reached out to my soul group members, the ones that I'm close with, for some help with transmuting all of this negative energy that I was purging, because I felt like depressed and like I had regressed backwards 5 years the last 2 weeks. And then when I felt a shift on the 1010 portal, I talked to Spirit, and Spirit gave me instructions for me to, specific meditations for me to do for myself and for my twin flame, to help release those PTSD wounds for this month. I'm laughing because I don't know if they can be 100% released, but Spirit gave me instructions for the next 10 days to help significantly help with that. So hopefully it does make an impact. Now that I'm like, all this stuff that's coming to the surface, and I'm like, of course I need to work on that. But anyway, that's not what I primarily want to talk about. I just wanted to let you guys know that that's why I've been MIA. I've been working through that. I do think that I've gotten past the hump. But I do still expect to be up and down as I continue to work on and focus on this healing process for the PTSD the instructions that Spirit gave me. So that's where I've been. I do want to get back into my normal routine with the daily messages, because they're quick and easy anyway. But I felt like since I stopped, I want to start with a collective reading, since I didn't get to do anything for the second solar eclipse or for the 1010 portal. I want to start with, it's my goal to start with a collective reading and then continue as normal from there. I have a lot. I'm actually a little overwhelmed with how much that I need to do, because between orders for clients, my second business, and just personal life stuff that you have no choice but to do, because that's life. Like, you have to, pay your bills and take care of the house and take care of your kids and things like that. Like, I am feeling a little overwhelmed with everything. So, what Spirit has taught me in the last year is that everything happens in divine timing, including when people receive their orders, which I keep telling people that because not everyone realizes it. But literally, like, I'm not even just talking about with me, like for anybody, any reader, anyone healer you work with, like literally every single thing happens in divine timing. So just trust that, okay? Because Spirit has really shown it to me. So I'm just going to take it one day at a time, one to-do list item at a time, and work on getting caught up and getting back into routine, moving back into a positive space. I have not personally been dealing with some spiritual warfare, but another soul group member was, and I found out that me and my twin flame and some other people were tied into it through past lives. So we weren't all being attacked, but we were connected to it energetically. So actually, for some of my clients who have been waiting, which I say this because you guys might be listening, for some of my clients who have been waiting, like, Spirit did not allow me to work on your orders. If you are soul group members for me, Spirit did not allow me to work on your orders until being given the all clear, because the case that was happening for the one girl in particular was very substantial. And that's all I'm really going to get into right now. But it was very, very substantial. And honestly, it has an impact on the world. It's that significant. So Spirit was not allowing, in beginning of September, Spirit gave me a message that I could not work on soul group orders until the warfare was completed, because there is a potential for negative interference in the, like, even though it wouldn't, through me, it would be like misinformation. That being said, I actually even became aware of some people that are not connected in this physical lifetime, but in past lives also connected to the people involved, were having some effects, even though they don't know them in this life, which is interesting and crazy. But anyway, so that was another reason why certain orders were stalled, because Spirit told me no, not right now. So, which is a perfect example of why Spirit is in control of when everything happens in divine timing, because Spirit knows things that we don't. So anyway, so I have the all clear now, but I also have 50 million things on my plate, so I'm taking it one step at a time. I paused there because we are still in October. October always makes me nervous because the veil thins. The spiritual realm can interact with the human realm more, and there's always more potential for things. And if I'm being honest, without getting into the details, Spirit is telling me that there is stuff that's going to be coming up in the world as a whole, because of just where we're at in the ascension process and where we're at in the process of removing evil from the world. I'm talking about, like, with the election coming up in America and all sorts of things happening around the world. Like, Spirit has been telling me the last few weeks to also prepare for what's coming. So that's another reason why I kind of want to get through October also, but be aware of that too, okay? I don't want to go into details because I don't think it's beneficial to go into details. I think that you need to be able to see the big picture, but just know that it would be wise to be prepared for anything at this time over the next few months and into the first half of next year. So, that being said, I wanted to give one more update, but I'm going to run out of time. So, I didn't get to do my 1010 portal healing like I would and originally planned, but Spirit had already told me that I was going to do a second transmission in October anyway for Halloween, but not on Halloween, a little bit earlier. So instead, Spirit is going to have me combine them, and actually it's going to work out perfectly. I'm looking at my notes. So come back real quick if you're on TikTok, and I will explain to you what we're going to be doing for the October transmission as well as the 1111 portal. Okay, so what Spirit is going to have me do for the October transmission, first of all, when I looked up all of the eclipses for the year, the website that I used was showing one for October 17th also. And then later on in the year, as October got closer, I saw that other sites were not considering that an eclipse. So I went back to look again, and the site that I use is calling it an almost lunar eclipse. I don't think they use the word partial. I'm pretty sure it's almost. So I don't know why they're counting it, but they are. And Spirit does want me to utilize that energy also. So I guess there's significance to it, even though it's not a full eclipse or even a partial eclipse like what we've had previously. But Spirit had me take note of that all along. And so I'm going with it. I follow Spirit's instructions, to be honest. Like, even with my normal life, sorry, my eye has like an air bubble. I wear contacts, so I don't know what's going on. But anyway, so Spirit wants me to utilize it, and I always follow Spirit's instructions. So what we're going to be doing, I actually think it's kind of perfect, because 10/17 is like, it's not quite to Halloween. So this is in advance of Halloween, but it's a little after 10/10. So we're combining the energy of everything. On 10/17 next week, it's the full moon for one. It's the full moon, almost eclipse, almost lunar eclipse. And we're going to be pulling that in with the energy of the 10/10 portal, the Halloween energy, of course. And then there's whatever astronomical events are going on. I just saw a Pluto gestation direct, and Jupiter's doing something. Oh, I think Jupiter might have gone direct also. It's not quite there, but Divine Energy Works is a great account to follow for all of those happenings in the astrology. So anyway, we're going to be pulling in all of that energy, and we're going to be preparing for what's coming, as well as releasing what has passed. So I don't know if you guys remember, but in September, when the Eclipse Gateway started, there was a very strong theme about releasing and letting go of anything that's holding you back. And with everything that I have been through, like that I was just explaining to you guys about my mega PTSD trigger and other stuff from September, even the warfare that was wrapped up, to be honest, it all also had that central theme focus of releasing stuff that's been holding you back, releasing spiritual blocks, all sorts of stuff like that. Releasing old wounds and negative emotions and energy that have been holding you back, that are no longer serving you. So for the collective healing transmission, it's not really collective anymore, actually. I'm making guided meditations. I should stop using the term collective. And those of you who sign up to receive it will receive the healing. But anyway, because you'll listen to it yourself. Anyway, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making a cocoon of protection and rejuvenation. And it's going to be a very, very, like, it's going to be like putting on armor and building this like impenetrable cocoon of protection around ourselves for preparing for Halloween and all of the other events that are coming that I told you that Spirit is telling me about. And then also within that cocoon, we're kind of going to be like putting ourselves into a hibernation, restorative, rejuvenating rest, and receiving deep, deep, deep healing in order to release all those old wounds that have been holding us back and shed all of the spiritual obstacles and all of that stuff. And it is going to be preparing us for our rebirth and, stepping out of the cocoon when we're done and gaining our wings. And that is preparing for the 11/11 workshop that Spirit wants me to do. I feel a little odd because I'm going to be doing it alone this time. The ladies that I previously did it with, Kathy, stepped away a year ago. She decided that she had a personal journey and goals that she wanted to focus on. And there was some warfare stuff that happened with Jennifer. Well, it didn't happen with Jennifer. It happened with the Soul Group and the Soul Family in the spring, and Jennifer was kind of tied into it, and she had effects. And so, like, she's going through a deep healing process right now. So, so she's not going to be participating right now either. Like, she is going through her healing that she needs as well right now. So Spirit wants me to do it on my own 3D self. What's really interesting to me is that I was told, it was kind of funny how it came about. I'm trying to remember. I had said, am I going to do it on my own? And Spirit said no. And I'm like, well, who am I going to do it with? And Spirit told me Jennifer. And I'm like, but Jennifer's healing right now. And she's not like participating in the 3D. And Spirit's like, no, her 5D self is going to be doing it with you. I was like, okay. So I don't actually know what to expect. I need to do my preparations for it anyway, and I'm going to find out from Spirit what that means exactly. Like, if it will be obvious that her higher self is participating or what. I don't know. But Spirit told me to go ahead and tell you guys, and I just found that really interesting. Especially because of how it came to me, like how I asked the questions, like, am I going to be doing it on my own? And I'm told no, and then I'm told that Jennifer is, but it'll be her higher self. I'm like, okay then. So, I'm excited. I'm nervous, but excited, but I know I'll be fine. And I do believe that the meditation that we're going to be doing in the 1111 workshop is going to be emerging from the cocoon that we are going into with the October transmission next week. So, and who knows what else, because I still need to talk to Spirit in depth about what we'll be doing for the 1111 workshop. So keep that in mind. I'm going to update my shop. I guess I'll update that today with the October transmission for next Thursday during the full moon. And I will try to update my shop with the 1111 workshop this weekend as well. I don't know if I'll have all the details about it, but I can probably put enough on there to be able to post it in my shop. So if you want to sign up for those, you'll be able to. Okay, so that's everything, I think. That's what's been going on with me. I also wanted to share what was going on with me, because I don't think I was alone. Like, I might have had my own very deep purge, but that even though what happened that was specific to me wouldn't be specific to everybody, I think that a lot of people were going through purging cycles of releasing old wounds. And I often will hear, I thought I healed that. And there was even stuff that came up for me too. Like, there was stuff that was brought up from the past events for me that I thought I had healed. Spirit will surprise you, because it's all about those repressed wounds and those repressed emotions that have been put into boxes and pushed down so that we can function in our day-to-day lives and not feel that energy, and not feel that heaviness. But Spirit's opening up the boxes and pulling them out, because they will weigh us down and they hold us back. Though that is what creates the fears that stop us from accepting our destiny and our fate. That's what stops us from being ready for union. Those fears that are created by those old wounds. So that's why Spirit is opening up those boxes and pulling them out and bringing it to the surface. And you have to feel it and get it out in order to heal. So that's why I wanted to share what I've been going through, because I want you guys to know that if you've been going through something similar, that's why. And I do believe it'll get better. I believe that it is starting to get better now with the 10-10 shift. And I think between 10-10 and 11-11, it's going to be that, like, finish releasing all of that and preparing for the new chapters and new beginnings. And even if it's not union for you yet, it's still leaving that in the past and ready for something else, something new, something next for you. Okay, so that's what's going on. That's the plan. And I should be getting back into the routine of things. And if you're supposed to hear from me, you will hear from me soon. Actually, I want to make one more quick note. The last thing I said was, if you're supposed to hear from me, you'll hear from me soon. And I also remember that there was one other thing I wanted to just let you guys know. So when I say you'll hear from me soon, I should really say you will hear from me as I work through my list and naturally come to whatever it is for you, whether it's a reading, a healing, a message, whatever. But the other thing that I wanted to mention, so the last 2 weeks, honestly, the last year, when Spirit put me through this process of reorganizing my life to change my work-life balance, so that I was not like depleting myself so much and not burning myself out and all those things, that I was prioritizing myself as well. That has been a journey for me the past year that Spirit has been teaching me. That's why part of the lesson has been that everything is happening in divine timing, including when people receive their orders. So don't be hard on yourself. Take the time that you need to for yourself as well. This is Spirit talking to me. That reminds me. So like I said, it's been a journey. It's been a process of, realizing that, accepting it, changing how I prioritize things, changing how I function, my daily routines, all that stuff. The reason why I laughed is because when I talked to Spirit the other day, I meant to say this before, when I talked to Spirit the other day asking like what I need to do to work on releasing this PTSD traumas, I was like, okay, is that everything? I wrote down the instructions, what Spirit wants me to do with my meditations for myself and my twin this month. And by the way, I don't remember if I said it, but I meant to say that what happened that triggered it was not something that my twin flame did. It was something that was external to him. It just brought me back to twin flame journey wounds. But anyway, so the last message, I was like, is that everything? Spirit said, no, we have one more message for you. The message was, when you are down, trust. You know better. And I'm like, not Spirit telling me what I would tell a client. Like, it just made me laugh because it was just, the exact thing that I would say to somebody else too. So like, thanks for the reminder, Spirit. But anyway, so Spirit has put me through this journey the last year of shifting things around. And in the last 2 weeks, when I had that deep PTSD trigger and purge, I literally, I turned off all notifications on my devices for everything. Like, I needed to, because I honestly, I was just in such a bad headspace that I felt like I couldn't take it anymore. And I needed, some quiet, and so that I could find my inner peace. And I'm going to leave it that way, because I realized that I cannot be at the beck and call of everybody else. I have to decide and choose when I am ready to open my energy up to other people. It doesn't matter who it is or what it is. So the only notifications that I have on are for text messages and phone calls. And that's it. Everything else, so all social media, Etsy, Telegram, everything, all of those notifications are turned off. So that does not mean that I will not answer any of you. It just means that I will answer you when I'm able to. Okay? I am checking my messages, but I'm not checking them. So I have an OCD problem. That's part of it. That's part of the reason why I needed to turn off the notifications, to not even see the little numbers. I turned off the notifications for my email also. I can't see if I see the little number, I have a compulsion and I have to check it and clear it. So I turned off all of that so that it can't be something that disrupts my mental peace anymore. So I do check my messages. I will reply to you guys. From now on, it will be when I am in the mental space to, instead of when the energy is trying to demand me to, if that makes sense. Okay, so just keep that in mind. If I have not gotten back to you, whether it's now or in the future, it's not anything about you. It's just, and it's not personal. It's just, it will come when I am mentally and energetically aligned to read it and answer. And sometimes I read it and I don't answer right away because I need to ask Spirit a question, or look into something, and that's why I'm not replying immediately, because I'm gonna look into it and then get back to you. So just keep that in mind, okay? So yeah, so just be patient with me, I guess. And I explained all of this through all of these videos, which is what was way more than what I anticipated talking about. But I explained it because, for one thing, I want you guys to understand if you're going through something similar. And I also just want you to understand, like, from my perspective, or honestly, you could even look at it and extend it to other people that you work with, whether it's other advisors or just other people in their lives in general. Like, it could be about anything, but just so much I see people jump to conclusions and make assumptions about people without really knowing anything about what's really going on in their lives. And so that's why I explain it, to help you understand that me and others, like, we're all doing the best we can. We all have to get through one day at a time. And I swear to God, it feels like time is speeding up on top of it. There's never enough time in the day. So I just explain it so that you understand that I am always, like, here for my clients. Like, you guys mean so much to me. Those of you who work with me know how much I genuinely care, and I'm here for you and work hard for you. But I'm also human, and I also go through stuff. And so this is what I'm dealing with, and I'm taking it one day at a time. And this is where I'm at with things in terms of prioritizing my self-care and my mental health and emotional well-being as well. And it doesn't mean that I'm neglecting you. It just means that it's all aligning exactly how it's meant to by Spirit, which almost a year ago in December, Spirit said to me, exact words, everything happens perfectly. Every single thing that happens to you in your life happens perfectly, exactly how it's meant to. And I want to leave you guys with that also, and say, think about that. Think about that in terms of your entire lives. Every single thing you experience, the good things and the bad things as well. Every single thing that happens to you in your life, or how things come together, how stuff transpires, like, whether it's something that is coming to you or something that you're doing, or just the way everything interacts, every single thing is supposed to happen and happens perfectly, exactly how it's meant to. And the more that you can understand that and accept it and embrace it, the more you're able to surrender to trusting the process, and surrender to divine timing, and surrender to the fact that everything happens the way it does for a reason. So you relinquish control. Stop trying to grip onto controlling everything, and let that go, and let yourself have mental peace, and focus on being present in your day-to-day lives and going with the flow, and stop stressing about what's going to happen and how it's going to happen and all that stuff, and just let it happen how it needs to. Spirit is in control, your higher self is in control, and it will all come together exactly how it's supposed to. So just trust that. Just let go of that tight stress ball. Let it be. And actually, let me just leave you here with some energy. Can you guys hear the rain? I wish you guys a peaceful weekend and positive energy coming.